You have been bound by this your entire life. This disappointment does not come from one individual or a terrible book. It emerges from every corner of the culture you breathe in every day. It flows from the lo-fi music you listen to while studying. So you begin an endless race. You crave a perfect relationship to fill the emptiness. You dream of a stagnant job for stability. You worship a glamorous lifestyle filtered through your phone screen. You chase dopamine as if it were oxygen. But look closely at what has really happened. You did not become stronger. On the contrary, be honest with yourself for a moment. Face this truth. When was the last time you intentionally chose to do something extremely difficult? When was the last time you chose pain over comfort when both were in front of you? If you cannot answer, then you have already lost the ground you once stood on. Without even realizing it, disappeared. The scariest part is not the decay itself, but the fact that at some point in this journey, you stopped being a threat to your own limitations and became their best friend. You stayed silent in rooms where you should have spoken. You accepted treatment far below your worth. The truth is, happiness was never designed to be the ultimate goal. Happiness is like the weather. It comes and goes. It may appear on a Tuesday and disappear by Thursday. I am here to make you feel something cold and sharp. Something that will stay in your mind long after this video ends. I want you to stop trying to be happy. Instead, start learning how to become dangerous. Before you misunderstand, let me clarify this idea. Dangerous does not mean violent. It does not mean reckless or cruel. It certainly does not mean walking around with an inflated ego pretending to be untouchable. Being dangerous has a much more powerful meaning. It means becoming someone who cannot be easily broken. You are someone who cannot be manipulated by sweet words or social pressure. You become a person who has forged themselves into someone the world must take seriously. Not because you are loud, but because you are capable, controlled, and tested by fire. A truly dangerous person is someone who has the power to create a storm, but chooses to remain calm. That is the true boundary of virtue. A harmless person who causes no damage is not virtuous. They are simply weak. They have no choice but to comply. But a person who possesses strength, who has the ability to change the entire situation, yet maintains complete restraint, that is a person worthy of absolute respect. That is what I want for you. Not temporary comfort, but an unshakable foundation. Think back to your childhood. No one sat you down and taught you how to suffer with dignity. No one told you to get comfortable with discomfort, or to build yourself into a fortress that can stand even on your worst days. What happens when the source of your happiness is taken away? What happens when the relationship ends? The job disappears, or your body begins to fail? If happiness is your only foundation, you will collapse completely because nothing will hold the weight. You are like a house built on sand. And the modern society made a mistake by turning happiness into the destination while forgetting to build the vehicle to cross the mud on the way there. They gave everyone a map to paradise, but forgot to mention that the road is covered in broken glass. Look at the happiest people you know. Often, they are the most fragile people on the planet. They smile because they have to. They perform because they are afraid of what will happen if they stop. Their happiness is not internal, it is conditional. It depends on being liked, on things going well, on never being tested. The moment a challenge appears, they shatter like glass. You have seen this before. You have seen people who seemed to have everything fall apart over a small failure. That is what happens when happiness becomes the ultimate goal. You become a slave to circumstances and a puppet to things you cannot control. Corporations know this. Algorithms know this. They understand that a person chasing happiness is the most profitable target because they will buy anything that promises instant comfort. The entire economy runs on your inability to face discomfort. Your weakness is someone else's business model. Ask yourself, in the past week, how many of your decisions were based purely on how you felt in that moment? If the answer is most of them, then you are living in a cage disguised as comfort. Now think about the people you truly respect, not the funniest, not the most popular. The people you respect usually share one trait, a terrifying calmness under pressure. They are dangerous because they cannot be controlled by fear, broken by loss, or weakened by criticism. They are self-governed and solid like a monolith. And here is the secret no one tells you. These people often possess a deeper peace than anyone desperately chasing happiness, because their peace is not borrowed. It comes from knowing exactly what they are made of. It is peace through strength, not peace through avoid. The ancient Stoics understood this well. A good life is not a comfortable life, but a capable one. Marcus Aurelius did not rule an empire by chasing good feelings. Every morning, he prepared his mind for resistance. They prepare for the storm while everyone else is dancing in the sun. So, when I say stop chasing happiness, I mean stop organizing your life around comfort. Stop using comfort as your compass. Stop running from difficult conversations and painful lessons. Every time you run from discomfort, you teach your brain one thing: that you are not capable of handling it. Your brain believes you, and it starts shrinking your world every day, until one day you realize you cannot even sit in a quiet room without reaching for your phone. That is not living. That is hiding. Modern dopamine addiction does not look like a needle. It looks like checking notifications 100 times a day. It looks like scrolling for 2 hours before bed because you are afraid of silence. It looks like eating when you are bored or staying in a toxic relationship because you are afraid of loneliness. That is, you are being drained of your potential by thousands of small pleasures that bring no real value. Every shortcut you take is a withdrawal from a capability account you didn't know you had. In biology, there is a concept called hormesis. Exposure to controlled stress makes an organism stronger. Muscles grow after being torn by weight. The immune system becomes stronger after facing bacteria. The mind becomes sharper but modern life has declared war on all forms of stress. Every inconvenience must be removed. Every burden reduced. Every pain eliminated immediately. In doing so, we have accidentally removed the very thing that makes humans grow. You cannot become strong without resistance. A mind that is never pushed becomes hollow. When you spend your life eliminating discomfort, you are a warm, comfortable prison where you slowly lose every warrior instinct you were born with. Your ancestors survived not because they were happy, but because they were strong. That instinct is in your blood, but it is buried under convenience and cheap entertainment. You have the DNA of a warrior, but live the life of a passive consumer. Fear is the reason most people stay stuck. Not fear of real danger, but fear of failure. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of not being good enough. That voice keeps you small and safe. But safe is just another word. A dangerous person still feels fear, but they act anyway. Each time you act despite fear, fear shrinks and you grow. Confidence is not a prerequisite for action. It is a result of action. So if you are waiting to feel ready, you will wait forever. Readiness is a myth. A dangerous person moves before fear has time to settle. Over time, the things that once terrified you become. Don't measure your day by how happy you felt. Measure it by how much stronger you became. Every morning, you have a choice. You can continue to scroll, consume, and avoid, or you can choose the harder path. That is the path of becoming truly dangerous. It is not comfortable, but it will give you something that chasing happiness never will: self-respect. One day, when you look in the mirror, you will see someone you are truly proud of, not because of money or fame, but the world does not lack fake happy people, but it is starving for people who are truly dangerous. And now is the time to begin that journey. Do not wait another second. Go and become the person you were meant to be.